Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Fray. Before we begin tonight, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the life and passing of Remix. William Penn once said that death is no more than a turning of us over from time to eternity. Death has many undeniable powers over the living, but none more potent than its ability to conjure forth memory. When we lose friends and we lose loved ones, our thoughts are flooded with dancing shadows and brilliant light, trivia, and poignancy. This week, I have seen hundreds of stories about Nelson, told by those who knew and loved him, and in those stories, he passes into eternity. In death, Nelson finds the truly divine, for the things that we do for ourselves die with us, but the things we give to others live on in their minds and hearts after we pass. We are dust and wind, but we are dust and wind capable of doing great things, and the eternity of memory that Remix has left in his passing tells us all his story. Let's take a moment with that memory in quiet reflection for 99 seconds for one final round. Please, in a moment of silence, remember Remix. You may donate to alleviate the burden of Nelson's funeral expenses by visiting www.ucaring.com/memorial-fundraiser/memorial-funds-for-emp-remix/119829. The link is in the chat, and we will also paste the link into the YouTube description for this video. I realize that it's the holidays and many of us have very little money left, but please, if you have any to spare, take a moment with the rest of us to honor the memory of a man that gave so many memories to others and ease the pain of his transition for his family. Thank you very much. All right. Having said that, rest in peace, our friend. Welcome, everyone, to the 27th Annual Horsehead Awards. The Horsehead Awards for 2013. Tonight's the nomination show. Our panel tonight's going to be weighing in as we honor the best and highlight some of the worst of 2013 with our now traditional Horsehead Awards. Well, the 27th Horsehead Awards. Joining us tonight is a cast of I Play Winner family and one interloper. Well, he's honorary I Play Winner family. First, you know him from the show that sucks. You also know him from the internet, from the deep internet. He was selling his services on Silk Road Online before they shut that site down. It's twitter.com/Hanzo Gonzo. Hi, Hanzo Gonzo.
Hi, Derry.
You know him from his work with I Play Winner for a long time now. I saw him at Capcom Cup. He did work there. Twitter.com/Blu-ray REI. It's Martin Blake. Hello.
How's it going?
There's a lot of beards on the internet, right? Like, there's a lot of dudes on the internet that have beards, and they fight sometimes about who has the best beard. But it's really such a silly fight because joining us tonight from Super Desperation Radio, the best beard in the entire universe. Gibby, how you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. So is my beard.
Your beard's good? And then we've got I don't know. This guy's probably been on the show about as much as Magus and myself. Twitter.com/NYC Furby. Arturo Sanchez, hello.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, the honorary iPlay winner for the night. The best fourth place finish in the entire universe is Twitter.com/that Mike Ross guy. Pretty Mike.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Pretty Mike. All right. So the way it works is I'll read off the categories for this year's Horsehead Awards, and I'll go around the panel, and I will ask each of these guys to give me their nomination for that category. And then in 2 weeks, we'll have our actual show for the awards where we will crown the winners for each of the categories. But tonight, we get our nominees together for each of the categories. There's 9 categories. There's 7 golden horse heads, and there's 2 brown horse heads. And you'll understand what I mean when we get to the categories. First category tonight. Let me bring up my list of categories here. Jesus. Wow. Worst show ever.
Amateur hour.
All right, for the first Horsehead of 2013, the category is Best Major. This is not Evo, but it's any major that's under the Fall Classics / Road to Evolution banners. So we're talking about, North American tournaments that are part of a tournament series or feed into other tournaments. I'll start with Hanzo Gonzo. By the way, guys, if you can't think of a nominee or somebody else names your nominee, you can always just say, hey, that guy said my thing, or I can't think of anything. We don't have to have, a nomination from everybody on the panel for every category. But if you have a nominee, throw them out there, starting with Hanzo Gonzo for Best Major.
I am personally going to nominate Final Round because it had the first team tournament for Curly Mustache, which was exciting to watch. And a lot of upsets and a lot of drama happened because of it. And also, Moons got top 8. I believe that was his first major. He got top 8 in, and that was exciting to watch. And there was really good fried chicken there. So, Final Round. And Waffle House. That was the first time I went to Waffle House, and Waffle House is amazing. So, Final Round, definitely.
Oh, Waffle House is so not amazing.
I love Waffle House so much. Everyone hates it. I don't know why.
Waffle House is like the most garbage thing on the planet.
Seriously.
You like Ross? You don't talk to me about good food.
Anyway, speaking of Mike Ross, do you have a nomination for the best major of the past year?
In terms of actually attending and being at, I'd have to put CEO on that list. Just because, being there's so much to do after the tournament, outside of the tournament. They got the pool parties and all that kind of stuff. It's just a ton of fun to actually be at. In terms of spectating from home, I heard that SER, even though I was there, I couldn't see it, but I heard that they went all out on their production. So those would definitely be my 2 picks.
Martin Blake?
I would also have to go Final Round for those same reasons. Just that Marvel tournament was pretty hype to watch, and just the overall experience was pretty chill and pretty enjoyable to watch. Every match was really good, and during that time, there weren't that many dead games that weren't being played, and so overall, and it didn't have dive kick, did it?
Oh my god,
that was the best part.
Oh, man,
and
not have dive kick.
Shots fired.
Yeah, that was probably why it was probably my favorite tournament.
Saban.
Yeah, I think I'm staying in the line here. I'm going to pick Final Round. Every year it's always amazing, and it always gets bigger. And yeah, it's just like an awesome tournament. Tekken's popping there. All the games are popping there. What else is there to say about Final Round?
Final Round does have that sort of. They're like it's probably the Evo of Tekken, right?
Yeah, it's been the Evo of Tekken for a very long time. Ever since they inside Scott Popular's apartment, Tekken was the most poppin'.
Tekken is at Evo, obviously, but Final Round has always kind of been like the Evo of Tekken. So, and last but not least, Manchester. What you got?
Got to go with Final Round as well. It was just an all-around great tournament for every game. KOF was good, Tekken was great, Street Fighter, and so on. I wish I could try the chicken though.
All right, so it looks like we're going to be going We're going to be voting in 2 weeks between Final Round, CEO, and SCR. All right. For Best Major. All right, next category. It's going to be Best Non-Major Event. This is basically anything else that's not a major. This is exhibitions, non-major tournaments, invitational tournaments like Curly Mustache, conventions. You can either vote for it as a viewer, an attendee, if you work there. A lot of us did work on these invitational or exhibition tournaments this year. If you played. So start off, Hanzo Gonzo.
I'm gonna nominate something weird because no one else will nominate it, even though I took I had a lot of fun watching it. The Tokyo Game Show Street Fighter 4 tournament was one of the wackiest tournaments I've ever seen in my life, and I just really enjoyed it because it confirmed my suspicion for a long time that Choco Blanca is actually the best EG member. So
What?
she plays higher than everyone in EG. So
Well, that's nuts. Like, I would never have expected you to vote for a Street Fighter 4 tournament.
I
But
enjoyed that tournament. It was fun.
It was a good tournament. I'm not gonna lie. It was good. Mike Ross.
There's too many good moments at like all of these different events. I mean, like, with Mad Catz Unveiled, the Daigo Infiltration match, watching that first attend was one of the greatest things. The Tokyo Game Show entire tournament was absolutely ridiculous. Watching Yipes versus Filipino champ at Capcom Cup was incredible. But if I were to have to pick one moment, one event, I would probably have to say the Tokyo Game Show.
Oh, okay.
Is there any specific reason why in Tokyo Game Show?
Yeah, just because, we got to see high-level play, first to 5 sets, in the tournament format, watching Mago and Haitani at the very end, watching that grand finals was absolutely incredible. Seeing Choco Blanca do as well as she did, seeing, Kaibetsu knock out Daigo so early in the tournament, that tournament was ridiculous.
Martin Blake.
I do feel the exact same way Mike does, but from attending and participating in, I think Capcom Cup would have to take it just because we don't have to sit through pools. We get right to the action. We see who wins. We got all these top players that were voted by the people. It was a very unique and different format that we haven't seen before from a non-major event. And it'll be cool to see exactly where Capcom will be taking this tournament in the future. And so my vote would go to that just because of how unique it was and how fresh it was and of the matches that we had there.
Let me say this about Capcom Cup. That was the only tournament I've ever been to personally where I sat through literally every match that was played that day. And I
Did
watched
not move out of that chair at all.
I know, I sat there the entire day. I watched Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I watched everything. In fact, it's probably also the first tournament I've ever been to where I didn't bust out like halfway through and go get completely loaded and then come back and watch matches. I watched every match and I watched it all sober.
Which was funny because that was your plan originally.
That was my plan. I was talking about that on Twitter about how I was showing up to get drunk. And because they have a really great bar at the Hyatt there in Burlingame. But no, sober, it was awesome. I just remember in Street Fighter 4, when Fudo and Xian were playing, I was thinking to myself, like, these guys are Evo champions. They're fighting each other. And this is the semifinals. This is nuts. Like, it was great. Anyway, not to get too far off topic. Arturo.
Yeah, my choice is probably going to be like a bit different from what you guys have all said. Because, like, those are all amazing events, but I wanted to focus on something that's not really offered that much. So I don't think what I'm going to nominate is on the same caliber of events, but it's definitely like a unique flavor. So I'm going to nominate 202 Furious, just because like throughout this year we've been able to provide the classic games. Nobody really else has really brought to light this year with Alpha 2, Super Turbo, CVS 2, and Street Fighter EX 2. And we got players like from Virginia, Maryland, all the way to come up. We got TOs like coming out of retirement, like Todd Dwyer. We have players from Philly, like Mars Gotti, coming out. And it's a really, really authentic experience. People have been donating boards and stuff like that. And it's a really cool thing to see. Like, I wish there were more classic game tournaments.
It is really cool, and it is very unique. We don't have a lot of tournaments devoted to older games. I know that, like, usually when there's a a tournament in the Midwest, you might have, a side vampire savior tournament or something like that. It's pretty pop, but it's very rare to have, tournaments devoted.
Were you guys like up against another tournament at the same time too? Like, how many viewers did you get?
I think we were up against the Danger Room, the first one that we did, and we were beating them for a while till we went offline. Now, I think we had like 1,500 viewers for a CVS.
1,500? Oh my gosh! Take it off the list. Done.
Right.
So no one's gonna vote VXG then.
Give me.
Mine would have to go with Dueling the KOF 12 in Japan. That one, actually, a lot of people didn't really know about it, and it had a bunch of up and coming players from Japan.
And the Evo champ, or second place Evo, KOF 13 placer actually got kind of destroyed. So it was hilarious to watch for me, and just a lot of 98 action and 2K2 UM. Really good.
That's cool. Right. And then moving on, trying to keep it brief. Best international tournament. Probably, I think if Gibby would have known this category was coming up, he probably would have saved his vote. But you can nominate the same tournament. Basically, you want to nominate a tournament that's not an American tournament and doesn't necessarily have to be, a full-scale tournament. It can be an exhibition, but we're looking at stuff like DreamHack, Tokyo Game Show, etc. Hanzo Gazo.
My vote will go to VXG because you just have it all. You have the beach, you have titties, you have money, you got gambling. Really? You just fucking. What else do you need, man? Like, what else? My real vote will actually go to.
Oh, that's your real vote.
No, I want my real vote to go to DreamHack because DreamHack was crazy, and DreamHack was one of the best international tournaments I've seen in a while. And
Birth of Daigon.
And we had Arms House running the stream, and I love Arms House, and yeah. So,
James Bardoff is a good friend of ours. He's actually been on the show before, so shout outs to Arms House. And DreamHack is a good tournament because Europe has this really odd centralized scene where the Asian players like to come there and play. So and you have the super godlike European Street Fighter players that come out. So DreamHack is always worth a watch at least. Mike.
My favorite international tournament to always watch is usually Shadowloo Showdown, because they get a good list of international players to us that show up over there. They get the Gamer Bees, the Kazunokos, and stuff like that, and I always just love watching their stuff.
Plus, they always they get a pretty stiff roster of strong American talent that go down there pretty much like every year now. Like,
yeah, like I don't care to watch Shadowloo Showdown for Marvel, only Street Fighter. Just throwing that out there.
Hey, they have strong. Australian has strong Marvel players. I would defend Australia. But whatever.
Shut up, Hanzo. Martin Blake.
It's funny it's not on the list was that Tekken Grand International Death Tournament, whatever they had. Which is pretty interesting to watch.
You're gonna nominate it, but you don't know the name of it?
No, I'm not gonna nominate him. Tokyo Game Show, or no, not Tokyo Game Show. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Shadowloo Showdown. You know what? I'm starting to get sick of watching 3-day majors. They're just boring to watch like after a couple of days. So I'm gonna give my vote over to let's see, International Tournament. Can I put Canada or not Canada Cup? Capcom Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
The Asia qualifiers were pretty good, going through Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong. I think probably my favorite though was Capcom Cup Singapore. A lot of good matches there. It was awesome. Watching a lot of the Asians there just do awesome in Street Fighter. I mean, watching Street Fighter 4 from Japanese players and Chinese players is just amazing. So I'm gonna have to give it over to them.
It was definitely an interesting dynamic to see the Asian qualifiers play out because you had this sort of coming into them. You had this sort of conventional wisdom that said that it was inevitable that Daigo and Infiltration were going to win at least 2 of the qualifiers, and then they weren't winning the first couple, and then it was like, okay, hold on, what's happening here? And so, I mean, like, Infiltration hasn't been the same since Daigo stole his soul, but everybody was pretty much certain that Daigo was going to make it, and that didn't happen. So those are some interesting qualifiers to play out the way they did. I watched them. I think I watched most of them. So Art.
I'm probably got to go with Canada Cup. As a Street Fighter fan, it was really crazy. Like the quality of matchups throughout the whole weekend, and it was like mostly 3 out of 5. So got to see some really amazing sets. We got to see Dako blowing it up with DJ. But yeah, I mean, honorable mention goes to Tiger Uppercut. Also, that was a pretty good event, but it was really late, like during U.S. hours, so not a lot of people caught it. But it was run by the Singapore guys. The same guys that did the Capcom Cup Asia stream, so it was on point. But yeah, my choice is Canada Cup.
There's not going to be a Canada Cup anymore, though. So, why are you even voting for him?
Well, hopefully they win the Horsehead this year. We'll see.
Yeah, they can give him the extra push.
Yeah. Once again, my vote's going to go to Dueling the KOF 12. The tournament, the stream was great. Ran on time. If you're a KOF fan or if you're not, everyone that I linked to it enjoyed it. It was just fun to watch. Lots of high level play.
Did you link it to?
I linked it to well over 1,000 different people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super Desperation Radio's audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a minor miracle when a stream runs on time these days. I'm always really impressed when I see a stream running on time.
Mm-hmm.
Match of the year. This is a match that you watched, a match that maybe you were a part of. I don't think maybe Mike. Maybe Arturo won the major this year too. So match of the year, pretty self-explanatory. Hanzo Gonzo starts off.
The only match that matters this entire year is Gandhi versus that scrub from NeoGaf. Gandhi versus that bad NeoGaf guy.
God,
I want that.
Dude.
I want that match up there because it had it all. It had everything that you could want in a match: footsies, execution,
Nice.
mind games.
Yes.
Really? They're too advanced for you, Derry. I know you can't understand them, but they were there.
Well, the gaffers are on a whole other level. They raise their dongles, and then it's like, well, I can't follow it. Mike Ross.
I think without question, at least for me, there was no match crazier, more emotional, and more exciting to watch than Justin Wong versus Chris G at EVO when he beat him. Just watching him, it's like you're watching the human versus the machine. And seeing him pull through, just one more match away from reclaiming his title as the Marvel champion was too crazy. That's match of the year for me.
It was like John Henry versus the steam engine.
Yeah. Yeah, it was too amazing to watch.
Martin Blake.
I absolutely agree with Mike. And that's one thing that sucks. Watching EVO at home, you don't get to see those things, but it didn't cut maybe to Justin Wong as fast as we wanted it to, but I was up on stage and just seeing Justin Wong jump around in victory right before he lost that last match. Feel the whole stage shaking. He was just visually just overwhelmed and emotional and drained, and that's the type of things that you don't get to see on the stream, and it was probably my favorite match of the year, definitely.
It's funny because when we were talking about that match on the Fray after it happened, we were all talking about how odd it was to have that crowd going apeshit for Justin, because here was a guy who was infamous.
Everyone hated for a long time.
Yeah, they hated him. No one cheered for him. When he played, he would kill a crowd. That was his thing. When Justin walked in the room and he sat down to play, the entire crowd just would go dead because he was about to murk whoever he played, and their hometown hero was going to get scraped, and there was really nothing you could do about it. And then to see the entire ballroom at EVO just going nuts for Justin was a surreal feeling. We were talking about that on the Fray when it happened. Art, match of the year?
So I could put a set in it, right?
Yeah, that's counts? Fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to nominate Sanford's entire run at NEC.
Yes.
Yeah, not just one set, the entire thing, because just the lead up to it was ridiculous. You had Aqua Silk popping off, talking mad smack, right? even made a video out of it with a whole back to block. That was pretty cool, right? And then he gets blown up, but it's the catalyst of something more. And then Sanford on the spot called out PR Rog and Justin, and that was pretty crazy. And it was really emotional. It went down to the wire and stuff like that. I would give an honorable mention to Joe versus Chin, just because there was so much money on the line for that match, and you could really feel the passion of Street Fighter in the room at that time. It was kind of crazy.
Gimme.
You can smell the Street Fighter passion in the room.
I'm torn between two of them. The Sanford sets like Art and KOF 13 Grand Finals at Evo with Reynolds and Wu. Reynolds coming back with his last character with a 6-0 run from losers. The entire room going nuts. Wu throwing his stick on the ground. Yeah, it was really fun to watch. But then the Sanford stuff was just great from every aspect. High level play and just the showmanship that was there, just with him calling people out, was great too.
Well, I think that my vote would probably be for Justin versus Chris, but I think KOF Grand Finals was definitely the best Grand Finals at Evo this year.
Reynolds with those American flag shades on.
Oh yeah.
Shaking the American flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
doing
was
it
awesome.
for USA.
Yep.
Which is funny because
really good.
KOF was pretty much my favorite Grand Final from the year before too. So it's 2 years in a row now. They pretty much had the best Grand Final. It was pretty intense. This year was better than the year before, bar none. It was amazing. All right, moving on.
No one said dive kick as your match of the year. That's pretty funny. Okay.
Why?
Just keep going. Just go.
Yes.
All right. So we'll do our first Brown Horsehead Award. This is the first of two. And this is the Dead Horse Award. It's the most washed up player, the person who's maybe had the worst decline. Last year we awarded this award to Viscant.
Oh, I thought Flo won. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's go on it.
Yeah, we gave it to Jay last year. We all wrung our hands and tried to be as polite about it as possible, but it was pretty much unanimous. We all gave it to Jay.
Here's on looking back at it though, we were totally right. Because he has not made a comeback since. So, round of applause, pat yourself on the back.
I love Jay.
Oh, we all love Jay. He's a friend of all of ours, but
we were right.
I still don't understand how you can call him washed up. I mean, he will forever be the best and greatest Marvel vs. Capcom 3 player of all time.
Give him a stick right now and let's find out.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, he is the greatest and the best. He is undefeated at EVO tournaments in Marvel 3.
All right.
I
Well,
ain't gonna talk about Ultimate though. That's a different story.
this has got the capacity to turn to a clusterfrack, so let's keep it. I'm going to start with Hanzo. Dead Horse Award this year.
So it's the most obvious, and I don't really have any personal bias with this decision. This is very objective, but it's fucking Fnatic free, 100%. You can't go from being such a dominant force in Marvel to just throwing money at the Japanese just for free. You're just giving them money. It's probably the worst decline I've seen in the player because League of Legends is a bad game. If you play League of Legends, your brain shrinks. Because that's a bad game. Stop it.
Mike Ross.
That's my boy. I don't like talking. You're asking me to talk about my boys like this, and I don't like that. But I'll just say,
it's tough love, man.
Yeah, it's tough love. I'll just say I'm very disappointed, when I see Fnatic play. However, I do attribute a lot of that to him, caring a lot less and wanting to focus more on music and Hanzo was saying, League of Legends now. But I just know he's so much better than what he's displaying. So I have to give the award to him, unfortunately.
Well,
he's not doing music anymore. He retired.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Hey, Martin.
Man. All right, then.
Martin, you're up.
I want to say Fnatic. I kind of want to say Marlon Pie as well.
Ooh, all right.
What?
They voted him into Capcom Cup.
I voted him in the Capcom Cup to see hype, and you've not seen hype from him in a long time. For good half a year, and he hasn't really won anything lately, has he?
Dang, that's I'm not gonna.
But my vote will still go to Fnatic. I'm just putting him in there, along with Flo.
You can only nominate one.
Keats. But
Damn.
we're gonna put Fnatic in there.
Arturo.
Hey, can I nominate a group?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I want to nominate. So this is from the Capcom Cup qualifiers. I want to nominate the entire online portion of the Cross Tekken qualifiers. So the 4 guys.
Oh.
Just because, for the past year, online players are watching streams and they're like, oh, like, these players aren't doing advanced combos, they don't have any Pandora gimmicks, like blah, blah, blah. And then come the big show, what happened? They all got bodied first round.
That's true.
Yeah, blown up. That was a blow up.
Well, Tampa Bison did good.
Well, like, I wouldn't really consider Tampa Bison.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Can I toss Arturo on there as well? You stopped winning Street Fighter Cross Tekken tournaments.
Hey, I won 2 majors. You can't put me on that list.
yeah,
Oh, crap.
he's
You
got
won a
the
sword,
fingers.
Mm-hmm.
That sword.
He won an Infinity Gauntlet this year. All
Oh,
right.
that's true.
And then give me Dead Horse Award.
It's kind of hard not to go with Fnatic because in the past 2 years he was actually placing fairly high in tournaments, and then due to the League of Legends, you slowly see the decline in his placing and his playstyle. I can't really think of anyone else outside of maybe Mike Ross, but I'm gonna go Fnatic.
I mean,
I don't think you're
He
washed
moved to
up, Mike.
hosting, dude.
I
He's
mean,
a permanent
thank you,
hosting.
Hanzo. I'm just saying, like, you take a guy like me who doesn't play, and I go to like Yumacon, still get top 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, this result speak for itself.
Look, I'm not
I mean-
look in your
I don't
case.
know
I'm
if-
not talking about players. James Chen did a much better job hosting Aftershock than you did Capcom Cup.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, okay. Which was Mike Ross better at, SF25 or Capcom Cup? That should be an award in itself.
Yeah.
Can I have a host on?
and who is this I'm even talking to right now?
Oh damn.
No, like,
You can do that to me?
Like, no, like, who is this? I really don't know.
That's
That's I'm Gibby.
Who?
Gibby.
We can do this.
You have to link a picture in like the chat because I really don't even know. I'm not trolling. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just like really asking. I mean, if somebody's talking about me, like at least I want to know who they are.
Yeah, who are you?
Here you go. I'll find the best picture of me right now for you.
Thank you.
All right.
Mike Ross like doesn't know anyone in here. It's like, why am I even? Oh, the Fray? What?
Oh my god. All right, moving on. Actually, I want to make a nomination here. I want to nominate Infiltration for Dead Horse Award. He had his soul ripped out of his body by Daigo. Daigo pulled it out and then consumed it. Ever since he lost Whitney Houston to his Kevin Costner, ever since Laugh moved on, he has not been the same. I don't know.
Listen though, does Daigo have a car? Does Daigo have a freaking platinum fight stick?
Maybe after that match, he probably caked Infiltration in the mouth and stole the car. Like,
I saw Infiltration at Capcom Cup just sitting alone. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because like he just needs someone like to talk to. I don't know.
He was sitting next to Sherry.
No, it was very early in the morning.
Oh,
He was just sitting alone.
wow. Anyway, let's move on to happier moments. We're gonna go to Player of the Year, the Horsehead Award for Player of the Year. Don't pick yourself. Hanzo Gonzo, go.
Player of the Year. I am probably going to give that to Reynolds because honestly, I really like seeing America win in anything, especially KOF, just to shut up all the xenophobic fans in the KOF community. So I'm probably going to give it to Reynolds.
Are you saying that KOF is xenophobic?
Yeah?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Have you heard of all the Mexico and Japan like hoorah when Korea won and stuff like that?
I don't understand what you mean when you say hoorah rah.
Oh, it's just like hating, I guess.
That's
Hoorah, okay.
Martin Blake, Player of the Year.
Player of the Year, I would have to say, I got it between Daigon Shan, but I would probably have to give it to Yipes. Just because
Really?
Yipes has stepped it up. He's brought some awesome, results and hype, and just like he's been doing great. He's been doing great this year, and so for someone who at the beginning of the year wasn't doing so well up until now, like he's just been improving more and more every year or every tournament, and so I'm gonna have to give it to him.
Too much Call of Duty.
Yep, it's all that Call of Duty, all that Silver Star story.
Oh, Mike Ross, Player of the Year.
Basing it just straight up off raw talent, like I just don't think you can ignore that Chris G should be Player of the Year. That dude has dominated everything he ever enters, every game too. Like even games he doesn't practice, like Injustice enough, will still sneaks into like top 4 and stuff like that. That dude is talent on another level.
He really is. I mean, you can say what you want about his personality.
Yeah.
About him as a person, which, is kind of a messed up reason to hate on somebody to begin with when you don't really know the dude, but whatever.
Are we just talking about... Well, that's the thing, though. Are we talking about raw skill, or are we talking about, being what encompasses a player, or the person as a player? You know what I mean?
If I were to base it off of, like a Player of the Year as in terms of maybe who the fans really cheer for the most, I'll say probably Justin Wong when it comes to Marvel. That's who I would pick. But I'm personally basing it off of who I think Player of the Year is, who the best player is. Chris G.
Oh, absolutely. I agree, actually. That would be my nomination as well. And I understand what Martin's trying to say here. Sometimes you want to think about players who are a little bit more of an all-encompassing thing. They're getting out there, making, like Yipes' 2013 was a good year for Yipes. Maybe not necessarily with tournament results, but he had curly mustache going on. His notoriety rose even higher, if that's even possible. But moving on to Arturo Sanchez, Player of the Year.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go against the grain on this one. Just to keep it a little interesting.
Please do.
My Player of the Year award probably has to go to AK from the Philippines, the 13-year-old that got top 3 at the Tekken World Championships.
Yeah, he was doing awesome.
Just because, look at his performance and look who he beat. Okay, he beat Help Me twice. he beat the Thailand qualifier. He had 2 nail-biting sets against JDCR. And the kid's only 13 years old. And, we've seen these Korean, come to America and win in rather dominating fashion. It's straight up domination. And for this 13-year-old kid, to come out of nowhere, not scared at all, playing in the Philippines and bodying these guys and going toe-to-toe with them is crazy at 13 years old. Who does that?
What's the Tekken scene like in the Philippines? I don't
know too much about the Philippines, but from what I've heard, it's still very arcade-centric. So Tekken has a fairly big player base there.
Here's the thing, though. There's a 7-year-old at CEO who's bopping people in Tekken.
Yeah, but he didn't win the tournament.
I'm just saying, maybe Tekken is a game for kids.
Oh, because Jabali let him win an exhibition.
Did he let him win?
Hell yeah, he let him win. Go watch the match again.
He didn't let him win. He got bopped.
Gibby.
See, the thing is, I'd go with Reynolds here for the same reasons Hanzo did, but that's extremely biased on my portion because the whole sponsorship garbage. But it's kind of hard for me not to go with him, just because he brought the title home to the States. After everyone insisted that no one in the U.S. could win anything KOF if international talent was involved.
I don't think that people realize. People who don't play KOF, I don't think people realize how big a deal it was that Reynolds won. To me, having the talent that came over from Korea and came up from South America to come in and play, and in Central America, and for Reynolds to win is like an American going over to Japan and winning SBO in Street Fighter. That's basically what it's like. He was fighting the best players in the world in a tournament that no one ever thought he was going to win, and he did, and that's amazing to me. So strong pick. All right, moving on. Breakout Player of the Year. Last year, I think we gave this to, I want to say Angelic, maybe? Or no, we gave it to, yeah, we gave it to Angelic. Let's say we gave it to Angelic. If
We didn't have it last year.
Oh, whatever. Breakout Player of the Year. We've had it for 27 years, Hanzo Gonzo. This is the 27th.
Yeah, this has
Cool,
been
I'm
the 27th year.
Sorry, I'm drunk. Sorry.
Hanzo Gonzo, Breakout Player of the Year.
No question, the number one breakout player who went from a nobody scrub in an online lobby to top beta of Evo is Cloud 805. I don't care what anyone says. He was the most unknown player. I knew who he was, but I guarantee 99.9% of people in the world did not know who he was. And he places top beta at Evo. That is ridiculous. That's breakout player of the year to me.
There was a few Evo surprises this year. Cloud 805 was arguably the biggest surprise, but there were a few players who were unknown before Evo who did some damage in the bracket. Mike Ross, your pick out for Breakout Player of the Year?
I would have to say, because like I'm trying to base it on I think like who just had, who has become a household name now. Granted, this dude is an OG. He's been around forever. But I have to give it to Nemo.
Right on.
That dude, he is now like a Marvel household name. This guy was technically irrelevant last year. Nobody knew who he was, on a grand scheme of things, except a couple diehard Street Fighter players. But now that everybody knows who he is, everybody respects him, and everybody thinks he's just here to like take America's money. They don't even care if this guy goes 0-2 in a tournament anymore, because they just know he's still better than everybody since he hasn't lost a big money match yet.
Arguably, people would say, when it comes to Marvel, that's really the mark, is the high stakes money match. Right. People, they talk about championships and things, but Marvel has a whole subculture when it comes to playing for money. It's kind of, and you're right. Nemo has not lost a high stakes money match yet. He keeps seeking out more opponents. I'm looking forward to the possibility of seeing him play for huge money against Golden Boy Neo, which I know Neo wants to do that. So if they can get that cracking, I would be salivating to see that. But yeah, that's a good pick. Martin Blake, your pick for Breakout Player of the Year.
Yeah, according to the list, I would also have to put Nemo on the same spot because, he's not that very well known until this year to a lot of the new people in the FGC. For a lot of the old people, they recognize him and see him in Japanese tournaments every now and then. But for breaking out into the FGC, I would say specifically into the American FGC, he's done pretty well this year, as well as also, he's now on Twitter. He's now tweeting in English a lot of his stuff and speaking to a lot of the American players, and a lot of people have gotten him notice of him from the money matches, but also from Capcom Cup. And so I expect next year it's just going to be a good year for him, and a lot of people should actually go and look back at some of his old matches and see how much of a god he is at fighting games.
Arturo Sanchez, your pick for Breakout Player of the Year.
Okay, my pick isn't really necessarily based on tournament results, but it's more based on how electrifying the crowd gets whenever he plays, and and how he performs in concept matches. So my award is probably going to go to Pi Smug for his exceptional Dudley play all year. I mean, yeah, he hasn't necessarily done the best in tournaments, but everybody knows that whenever Smug plays or he gets on the stream or people see him on YouTube, people blow it up. He's always extremely entertaining, and he's had some crazy concept matches this year with PR Balrog, Stanford Kelly, a couple of other sets this year. Yeah, I just think he's really entertaining, and Dudley's low tier, so the crowd really gets hype when he plays and blows it up.
Smug is kind of like, to me, he's sort of like the Street Fighter version of Marlon Pai, where he's a guy who gets kind of like noticed for his exciting play and his innovative execution, his tech, and he really gets the crowd going when he does like the fancier stuff. And he's kind of known for it. So.
He's an online player too. Before Team Pi picked him up, and it's only been 6 months since they started bringing him to offline events, and I think in that short time he's definitely made a name for himself. I think everybody in the Street Fighter community knows who Smug is at this point.
Good choice, Gibby. Your choice for Breakout Player of the Year.
I don't know. I kind of hate going with this, but Senior Taxi.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
because the simple fact that everyone can't get his name out of their mouth. Like he was a nobody before apparently, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, Senior Taxi, he beat Chris G once. He's amazing, and here people are still talking about Senior Taxi.
Well, he won fights like a couple months ago, right? Like
Yeah.
He
I
did.
think it's also
or the
because
run back or whatever.
that guy also has the best name too. I think
Senior
that helps a
Ass
lot.
Taxi.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah.
He was such a breakout that Capcom didn't put him on the list of hype players for Marvel.
No Capcom Cup Senior Taxi.
Wasn't that we were talking about the list of people that come on to Capcom Cup with Combo Fiend on the Fray, and Combo was talking about Senior Taxi. And he's like, "Well, we kind of want people who would be competitive." And I was just like, "Yo, damn, really?" Like,
He didn't bring much of the hype. That's what he said.
but no, Combo gave him his props and talked about how he does bring the hype. And I will say, like, speaking as the guy who got. Well, one of the two, but Magus and I commentated that match against Chris G. And that's easily the best match I've ever commentated as far as like how into it I was personally. I've commentated some pretty high profile matches. I've commentated more than a handful of Daigo matches, some infiltration matches. That was easily my favorite match to commentate. And I knew for some reason, like if you go back and watch the replay of the match, You'll hear me say like within 30 seconds to a minute that I thought that there was something happening there, especially when I started picking up on how he was using his Dante assist, and I could tell when it was going down that there's something magical about to happen. It sure did. That was amazing to see. So you were
PS3.
PS3. That was amazing too, actually. All right, moving on. Gonna go to Best Troll. This is kind of like a brown Horsehead with a gold sheen. This is going to be a single event, something that's been going on for a while, a joke. I think last year we talked about Raffle Batman. So it could be like, Yipes' ongoing war against verbal war against Filipino champ. You could nominate Nemo versus Fnatic. Whatever you want to nominate. Best Troll. Hanzo Gonzo, your vote?
I don't know if it was this year. I'm pretty sure it was this year when Ski Sonic he did the two hat thing to Yipes. Do you remember that?
I think
Where
that
he
was
took
this
off
year.
the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I know everyone's gonna be like, "Why is that your favorite?" Because I don't know. It's just like it's really simple and really stupid and like
This isn't
Yipes'
like-
face.
Best GIF of the year.
That was a troll.
Best troll.
That was a troll.
Pretty weak troll, man. Come on.
You just like it because it's a hat troll. Like it's
Maybe.
related
Exactly.
to a hat. And that's why you like
All right,
it.
fine. VXG. Light it up. Fucking 895. There you go.
420 yellow, smoke
Yeah,
it.
there's your happy. Are you happy now?
All right. Martin Blake, Best Troll.
I might have to say, according to this list that we have here, that was prepared by Chris Seglia, the FGCNN articles. If you guys have not seen FGCNN, I would urge you to go visit FGCNN.com. It's the Fighting Game Community News Network. But they posted up an article recently. They posted up a bunch of articles recently. Just kind of poking a little bit of fun at the fighting game community, at the drama, and kind of pointing out it's, people just getting too hype over stupid drama that doesn't even matter. But it got to a point where all these major gaming companies started picking up some of their articles, including one that the Xbox went down, or the online DRM crap went down and killed the Killer Instinct tournament. And it got picked up by Kotaku, it got picked up by Polygon, it got picked up by IGN, and all these places. Yeah, I would say that would probably have to be one of the best trolls of the year.
Arturo Sanchez, you were kind of caught up in that FGCNN Killer Instinct mess. Your vote for Best Troll of the year?
I gotta give it to FGCNN. I don't know, I don't know who those guys are, but FGCNN is broken. Like when that story broke, when that story broke, it was crazy. Like I was checking my channel that day, and I was like, God damn, what the hell's going on? Who is FGCNN? So yeah,
The
that's
CPM engine.
Yeah, that's definitely my my nomination, no question.
Mike Ross, your choice for best troll of the year.
Oh man, I really don't even know.
Come on, Mike Ross, plus.
That to me is like beyond God. Like I don't know who that is. It could be one of you guys. I really don't know. I think sadly the only event that comes to mind I think happened last year, so it's like I can't even mention that. I really gotta if just because I know it's recent, I would have to give it to Mike Russ, please, until I figure out who that is.
That's I mean, like, of all the novelty Twitter accounts, that's probably my favorite.
It's not me.
I don't know. You say that. I'm gonna find out. I'll find out by Evo though, for sure.
He's not that smart enough to write crap like that.
Yo, who's Sanford K says? I wonder who that is too.
That's not me too.
That actually is a good one too. Give me best troll.
Unsupport. That's my favorite.
The Twitch unsupport?
Yeah, the fact that people argue with the account and send all their complaints to that account is like the best shit that I've seen. Just the stuff people say to it.
Twitch unsupport is pretty good, actually.
Twitch unsupport. All right, moving on.
Wait, what was yours?
I would FGCNN. I like FGCNN. I think it's pretty creative. Our last Brown Horsehead, the Pack It Up Award, the Clapboard, the PIU Award. This is the Dead Horse. It's similar to the Dead Horse, but this is a general nomination category for things that we want to see get gone from the community. It could be something specific. It could be a game that you think is boring. It could be a meme that needs to go away. Whatever you think it just needs to go. You know, this is the category for it. Starting out, Hanzo Gonzo for the Pack It Up Award.
Triforce and Rolando, get the fuck out of the community. No one fucking likes you. Get the fuck out. All right, that's my fucking award. Get the fuck out. You'll pay people their fucking money and leave. No one fucking cares about you. You're not, fucking people.
Okay, wait. Explain. Explain reasons.
No, I don't. It's done. Don't feed him after midnight. Jesus.
That's my nomination.
He's like a gremlin. You just dumped a bunch of water on him. Whew. All right. Hanzo Gonzo's nomination is Triforce and Rolando. Annotated notes here. Mike Ross, your nomination for the Pack It Up Award.
I would say just, kind of continuing off that note, if you will. I think it's just time to completely get rid of, which I think we have at this point. We got to pack it up to all the shady tournament organizers, from the John Nelsons to the, devastation people that just, make apologetic videos but still don't pay nobody out. I think that's just got to be an era that we're officially done with. We're officially done with, All
right.
We have to be aware of, beforehand, do we think we're going to get paid at this tournament,
Well, I mean, I don't want to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no excuse for it, obviously. But, I mean, when John Nelson doesn't pay you guys out, and I'm not saying anybody on this panel, I'm saying you guys as in the guys who it happened to. When John Nelson doesn't pay a guy out, and then he holds another tournament, and you come back for more.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you the first time, but the second time I'm thinking maybe you deserve it.
That tournament was down the street from my house, but I knew better not to go, and I didn't promote it or anything because I knew nobody was going to get anything.
See, that's a bad tournament when you can literally walk there and you still don't go.
Yeah,
that's just. I mean, come on. People saw it. People saw it happening the first time, and then it happened, and then it happened again.
Yep.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. There's some George Bush stuff, guys. Geez. Martin Blake, Pack It Up Award.
I would have to say to bad Kickstarters. And I'm going to have to say this to, there's a bunch of them that don't have business plans. They have no idea what they're doing. They just want money. Like, for instance, okay, I'm going to have to say it, but Reinhardt, your crap is stupid. No one wants to,
oh God,
pay.
Stop, Martin, please.
No one
Martin,
wants
please,
to
stop.
pay money
Martin,
for your
please.
freaking crappy esports manga.
Martin, stop.
No one's gonna pay $100,000 to watch that kid. Wait. Hold up. Are you telling me to stop because you're in this? Are you in this?
Don't you understand?
You in this magazine? Are you serious?
if you donate about $20, you can be a part of my comic as well. It's really not big money.
Okay, well, besides Reinhardt, because no one's going to pay $100,000.
There are some bad Kickstarters. I gotta
Wasn't
agree.
there that fight stick pizza bag or something like
my
that
God.
someone was making?
I mean, there's been. I mean, like there have been some good ones this year. Don't get Esteban, our good friend Esteban Martinez.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The whole back to block. He has his movie that he's trying to fund through Kickstarter with some very tangible goals, some very tangible rewards for donations, and a really worthwhile thing to create. But yes, 2013 was the rise of troll Kickstarters.
Seriously, you're going to fly out every single person for every single international party. Like, oh my gosh, he would have to. He's going to lose money on it. Just
right,
people do not have smart business decisions. Also, VXG, they need to go.
Arturo Sanchez, your nominee for the Pack It Up Award.
Pack It Up Injustice.
Yo, real talk. That's my nominee right there.
just because, like, look at what happened. Like when it came out, it's like it came out. Like the testers worked on it. It was blowing up at first, and then the testers like started bitching about the game, and then the whole community started bitching about the game. It went from being like, you remember at UFGT, when there was 9 a.m. Injustice top 8, everybody was blowing it up. It was saying like, oh, how could you treat Injustice like this, blah blah blah, and then a couple of months later, it pretty much really disappeared from the general mindset of the FGC. And this is not really like a knock to the people that are still playing or continue to support Injustice. Just in general, like if the NRS guys don't have love for their own game, then who will? So that's my award for Pack It Up.
I mean, Hector doesn't work on the game anymore.
Hector is Sony Santa Monica now.
Yeah, exactly. Hector's gone. And I don't think he ever went public for his exact reasons to go. But I mean, you could tell just from the way that the guy talked about the game that he was frustrated with it at the very least.
Hector was really frustrated. He started deleting tweets, like he started unfollowing players like that. So it's just just the community vibe like around the game was just really bad.
A lot of amateur stuff, like allowing Superman to ruin the game basically, and let him continue to do so for months.
If you remember, I pushed for that prime spot of evil for Injustice, and then look what happened. Superman. Everybody's like falling asleep. Yeah,
dude. Did anybody else see that video? It was on /Kappa on Reddit the other day, where I forget who was playing, but it was the match with the dumpster. The guy gets put in the corner with the dumpster, and he just keeps getting hit over and over with the dumpster.
Hilarious. That's just hilarious. But no knock on the game itself. It's just mostly just the general community attitude. Like needs to pack it up.
Well, knock on the game. We just need to have it leave.
The reason it's my vote, the reason why I wanted to nominate Injustice was because when the game came out, I was a true believer. I enjoyed the game a lot. I played the game a lot. I wanted the game to do well. And then it was really apparent early on that this game had some major warts, like it had some big-time flaws. But luckily, they were things that most of us agreed were things that could be fixed relatively easily, except for the fact that NetherRealm just didn't seem interested in fixing those things, and instead was focusing on adding content to the game when the game wasn't really in a state. It was just kind of in a broken state, but they're adding more to it, and the things that they're adding are broken. So it's like...
Yeah, some of the DLC stuff was like really messed up. Like Zod's trait didn't work properly before it got patched. But I will say this, that the final version of the game is great. It's kind of like, how really dedicated Street Fighter Cross Tekken players talk about Cross Tekken 2013. How they say it's so much better than the original version. It actually is, but with these type of situations, it's always like a too little, too late type of thing. So even though the game is better, it's kind of disappeared from the consciousness. And it didn't really have to go down like that. Like, I worked on a lot of guides for the game, really trying to teach people and keeping it positive. But people just burned it down. So, yeah, Injustice.
All right. And then last, give me your nominee for Pack It Up.
What's that?
Salty Bets.
Salty Bets. Wow.
Salty. Yeah. It's like silliest thing. I don't get it. Dumb as crap, and they get over 1,000 viewers at a time for streaming Mugen?
It was kind of a lightning in the bottle type situation, but yeah, I don't think it has legs. I don't think
they also used FGC tournaments to promote themselves early on, and then they don't donate to FGC tournaments. It's kind of it's like AGE with their fucking just free publicity bullshit. Like, get that shit out of here.
Dude, I can go off on the Pack It Up award forever. There's so many nominees you can think of. Like freaking stupid upcoming fighter games like on the iPad and.
Hey, those were featured at Repeatable
Oh,
Tournament
gosh.
VXG, so they had. You need to watch yourself.
They had a projector.
Last but not least, the last award, the Golden Horsehead for Best Moment. This is the basically just the best moment that you experienced as a fan, as a player, whatever. You know, Daigo hitting 4 uppercuts against Gamer B, Mike Ross breaking down the Cage CEO. Your best moment for the year, 2013, Hanzo Gonzo.
I know someone else might say it, but I have like a really different reason for saying it. I think Yipes at Capcom Cup was crazy. I know people are like, well, he beat all these people, that's crazy. But like, I was right there on stage, and when he beat him, he just threw his stick like at the TV almost. It almost knocked it all over. And then, but no one even cared about that. And he just stood up and was like accepting the crowd. But afterwards, he actually went up to F Champ in the crowd and was like, yeah, I beat you. And then like walked away. And that little moment, that little shit talk from Yipes to F Champ was quite enjoyable for me to watch. So I think that's my greatest moment of the year.
I'll say this: I'll eat crow in front of a very large crowd, including both James Chen and Ultra David. I think Markman might have been there. They asked me, who do you like in this match? And I said, I like Filipino champ 3-0 against Yipes. And then David said, wow, you don't even think Yipes is going to pick up a game? And I said, I think the only way that he would pick up a game is if Champ trips and unplugs his stick on accident. And then Yipes ends up bodying him 3-0 and making me look like a moron. So congratulations to Yipes.
So we're going to put you in the Pack It Up Award.
I should have been... I'm 2 years running now, Pack It Up Award. Martin Blake, you're nominee for Best Moment.
Besides right now, spending this moment with you guys.
Oh, my God.
Shut up.
I would have to say probably go again over to the Justin Wong versus Chris G moment. And just that end part in at Evo was freaking awesome. I mean, the whole event of Evo was amazing. Definitely, you guys who haven't come to Evo, definitely plan to come and start planning now, because it is definitely one of the best experiences you'll have this year. And just for reasons like that, the Justin Wong versus Chris G moment was probably my best moment of the year.
Mike Ross, your favorite moment of 2013?
Oh, man. There's too many moments. Let me see. If I were to... Man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to, feel myself, but I had a lot of adrenaline running through when I tore that cage down. That felt good. Let's get that out the way. But I'll tell you just a good thing, just kind of seeing the whole fighting game community bridging together was during Evo, during Infiltration versus Tokido, during the Akuma Fireball thing. That was amazing to be a part of. But if I had to pick one moment, dang, it still has to be, when Justin beat Champ. Just the energy in that room was out of control.
Energy out of control. It was Arturo Sanchez, your nomination for best moment 2013.
I'm gonna go with one somebody said already, just because I was there for it and I actually recorded it. It's Justin versus Chris G at Evo. I mean, you guys have seen the crowd reaction video. I know a lot of people have seen it. It's ridiculous. Just the energy in that room. And I don't give two shits about Marvel, but just being in that crowd at that time, you just had to be there. It was just like a super electrifying moment that I don't think I've ever seen in fighting games.
That crap didn't transfer over the stream too, it was definitely you had to be there moment.
Even with the camera and the shot I got, while it was pretty good, it still didn't capture everything. It was still only a tiny fraction of the spirit energy in there that day when that went down.
The mega spirit bomb went off.
Yeah.
Give me your best moment 2013.
I'd have to say
It's Smash Brothers at Evo.
All right.
I'm not too big on Smash, didn't care for it, but what they did to get their game in there and all their players showed and how, geez, that room was deafening during Smash Finals. I couldn't stand being in there. It drove me nuts. But I mean, it was fun to watch. But I almost went deaf. Old man ears, not good.
All right. And those are the nominees.
Wait, what about you?
For me, my best moment of 2013 was Justin versus Chris at Evo, for sure. That's a once in a lifetime kind of thing. Like you can't manufacture a story like that, man. They just sometimes those things happen, and it's lightning in a bottle. Like Justin fighting his way through the bracket like he did. I mean, with all of his comebacks, making like I think 4 or 5 last Akuma comebacks to get to Chris, just to fight Chris, and then beating Chris. Yeah, I mean, and Chris looking like Goliath, and Justin Wong playing the role of David. Like, who in their right mind would have ever thought that Justin Wong would be in the David role in any match? But I mean, just every factor of that story was like a Hollywood movie. Like the way it was produced, it was just amazing. So that's definitely my vote. All right, that is the nominees for the Horsehead Awards 2013. Tune in 2 weeks when we have our award show where we reveal the winners. I'm pretty sure that Fnatic is going to win an award this year. I want to thank all my special guests, Hanzo Gonzo, Mike Ross, please, Martin Blake, Arturo Sanchez, and Gibby. Thank you for joining us. We'll see which of these guys are going to be back in 2 weeks. Maybe we'll have Magus on, maybe we won't. He had to bail on us last minute tonight for some personal reasons, but I'm sure we'll have him in 2 weeks. Magus?
Yes.
Oh, man, that's cruel.
Here, man.
Anyway. And then last, guys, we're going to be posting the link in our YouTube video description for Remix's donation fund for his family to help defuse the cost of his funeral expenses. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had the misfortune of having to bury someone in your immediate family, but funerals in America are expensive. Even just the basic services that it takes to properly intern a loved one can run several thousands of dollars. Initial estimates for Nelson's funeral running somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000. So if you guys have any money left over after the holiday, I know that his family would be very, very appreciative of anything that you can spare. $5, $10, whatever you can spare to help them give Remix a burial that he deserves. So please see the link. I think they posted the link on Shoryuken. I just retweeted the link on my Twitter account. So it's everywhere. Yeah, please make whatever donations that you can. Spread the word. Post it to your Twitter, post it to your Facebook. Let your non-fighting game friends know. Do what you can. All right, that's going to be it for this week. My name's Derry. Appreciate you joining us. The Fray is taped supposedly every Thursday on the I Play Winner Twitch channel. But make sure you subscribe to our Twitch channel here, twitch.tv/iplaywinner. If you're watching it on YouTube, you already know the address. It's youtube.com/iplaywinner. Make sure you subscribe there as well. Our video on demand for YouTube usually hits YouTube about 24 hours later. So if you missed any earlier parts of the show, you can always catch us on YouTube. And until that time, I'll pass it over to Hanzo Gonzo in honor of the absentee Magus 154. Yo, Hanzo.
Yo, Fray!